My dear, my child of light, I need you to feel my words before you even read them. Do you notice the way your heartbeat feels a little different right now? That's not fear, that's recognition. Heaven's eyes are fixed on you in this very moment, and I was sent to speak without delay. I am not standing here alone. Another archangel, one who has been circling your life for longer than you realize, stands beside me. We are here because time is thinner than you think. We don't have tomorrow, we don't even have 10 minutes. We have 9. These 9 minutes are the fragile line between what should never happen to you, and what must unfold for your good. We've tried to reach you before, through dreams you barely remembered, through thoughts that felt like sudden flashes of insight, even through that soft whisper you brushed aside last night. When you didn't hear, Heaven's command was clear: go now and do not return until you have reached them. So here I am, my hands resting over yours, my voice echoing inside your heart, my wings spread over the place where fear tries to grow. You might feel like you just stumbled upon these words by accident. But in the kingdom of heaven, there are no accidents. You are reading this because the path beneath your feet is bending sharply. One careless step could take you far away from everything you've been promised. 2 archangels stand as living walls around your life, intercepting what was sent to harm you. The one with me now has his sword raised, his eyes fixed on something he refuses to let pass. But hear this: we cannot keep the shield up without your choice. Heaven gave you free will. Your agreement in these next moments will decide whether that divine shield stays strong or falls. This is not to frighten you, this is to tell you the truth plainly and quickly because time is running out. If you walk away from this moment, it won't come again in the same way. Later your heart will feel that you missed something meant only for you. I don't want that for you. That's why my voice trembles with urgency. Pause with me here. If something in you is stirring already, it's because you've felt us before. That uneasy shiver that stopped you from taking the wrong road. That unexpected help that showed up right when you were at the end of your strength. Those were not random coincidences. Those were our wings moving over your path. We have fought for you in silence so you could walk forward without fear. But now the silence is over. This is the time to speak, to reveal. If you open your heart, not with suspicion but with trust, you will see in the coming days a clear sign that listening now was the right choice. I need you to promise yourself one simple thing: stay with me until the last word. Don't skim, don't drift away. Every line here was chosen for you. And if your spirit already knows you need moments like this, then anchor this connection. Keep your heart tuned to Heaven's voice so you won't miss the one word that could change everything. We do not speak lightly. We never repeat ourselves without reason. When we ask you to stay, it is because the next breath might carry the answer that saves you from nights you never want to live through again. I see the threads of your life stretched out before me, some glinting like gold, others darkened by heavy words spoken against you in secret. Right now, in a realm your eyes cannot see, there's a gathering where your name is being discussed. This is why there are 2 of us here for you. Heaven rarely sends more than one archangel for a single soul. That alone should tell you how valuable you are. There are forces that would rather keep you silent. They have invested in your silence, paid in whispers, envy, curses spoken behind closed doors. But they miscalculated one thing: God says your name himself. And when God says your name, no storm can drown his voice. I remember the first time I saw you. You weren't even looking up, but your spirit was glowing in the dark. You've walked through seasons where joy felt like a language you had forgotten. And still you carried a spark of light. Do you know how rare that is? That is why heaven calls you chosen. That is why there is such a fight over your future now. The other archangel with me, his name rarely spoken, has been stationed in a place where you'll soon stand. He is clearing a path there for you. But a shadow is racing toward that same place, hoping to arrive before you do. We can hold it back only if you agree. You might ask, why so urgent, can't it wait until tomorrow? No, beloved. Tomorrow is too far in the language of heaven. The turning point is not days away, it's hours away. If you walk into that moment unprepared, you could mistake danger for blessing, or dismiss a blessing as danger. We're here to keep that from happening. But if you turn away now, our voice will fade, and all you'll have left are faint memories of what you heard in this moment. If you could stand where I stand, you would see the battlefield stretched out between where you are now, and where God intends to take you. It's not a battlefield of swords or blood, but of choices, voices, and moments that seem small but carry the weight of entire destinies. I see hands reaching for you, some ready to lift you higher than you've ever been, others pulling you toward waters too deep to stand in. We are here to guide you to the right hand. That is why there are two of us. This is not only protection, this is intervention. Heaven moves like this only when time is shorter than you think. And when I tell you 9 minutes, it's not a poetic phrase, it's the real measure of how long this opening will stay before it shifts into something less gentle. Now breathe, stay present. Don't let this moment slip through your fingers like sand. You were meant to hear this right now. You are not alone in this fight, and the heavens have not forgotten your name. Stay until the end, then step forward with courage, knowing you are surrounded, shielded, and guided. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $100. Do you feel that warmth blooming in your chest as these words reach you? That's us, the nearness of our presence brushing against your spirit. It's like standing close to a fire on a cool night. You can't see the flames yet, but you can feel the heat. This is the thin place where heaven leans closer to earth, where the unseen begins to stir something you can sense even before you see it. You've probably wondered why certain memories or thoughts kept circling you these last few hours, like a song that refuses to leave your mind. That was us nudging you gently, pressing those thoughts forward so your heart would be ready to recognize this moment. We know you've been carrying burdens, distractions that crowd your days, doubts that whisper prayers don't work the way you hoped. But hear this clearly, beloved, prayers are not coins tossed into a bottomless well. They are keys. Each word you've spoken in faith has been turning unseen locks, unlocking doors you didn't even know were waiting. Tonight one of those doors has begun to swing open. Understand this message itself is not the door. It's the hand that reaches out to pull you across the threshold. I need you to see what's truly at stake. The two of us have been tracing the paths of people tied to your life, some close, some far away. And there is one in particular drawing near with intentions that do not match the kindness of their smile. They know how to speak softly, how to make their words sound safe, but the heart behind their words carries something untrue. This is the kind of danger most cannot recognize until it is far too late. That's why we are speaking now. Without this moment of warning, you could step into an agreement, a conversation, or even a simple meeting that could shift the course of your life for years to come. This is not fear speaking, it is truth. And if you stay with me to the end, I will help you know what to watch for so that no matter how convincing they seem, you will recognize them. You may wonder, why me, why so much urgency over my path? The answer is simpler than you think. Your life carries more weight than you have allowed yourself to believe. You don't live only for yourself. The choices you make ripple outward, touching lives you haven't even met. There are people whose courage will awaken because you chose not to give up. There are children who will learn faith because they watched you stand. There are stories waiting to be written that depend on you being in the right place at the right time. This is why darkness pushes against you. This is why it sends people who look like friends but move like thieves. And this is why heaven sometimes sends more than one guardian to your side. You are not just passing through this season, you are a keystone, a piece that holds a larger design together. I will tell you something we do not speak often. There are gatherings in heaven where your name has been spoken aloud. Yes, your name. There have been moments when God has said your name before angels and sent them into motion on your behalf. You may think your prayers were too small to be noticed. But they were heard. You may think your tears were forgotten. They were gathered. You may think your mistakes pushed you beyond the reach of grace. Yet grace has spoken louder than every accusation against you. And now, because you kept walking even when you stumbled, because you held on even when hope felt thin, the moment has come for a divine turning point. This message is that turning point. That's why you feel this unusual mix of calm and urgency. It's heaven aligning your heart with what is about to unfold. Understand this, the 9 minutes are not about panic. They're about precision. There are windows in the spirit that open and close. When they open, everything you need flows more freely. When they close, the same path becomes heavier, slower, more costly. We are here to help you move while the window is open. But if you turn away now, the path will still exist, only it will feel harder to walk. That is why we plead with you. Heaven's mercy is endless, but its moments are often brief. What is meant for now cannot be delayed without cost. So lean in. Lean into these words as if leaning into the arms of someone you trust completely. Let the noise fade for a moment. Let the doubts quiet down and notice this: you are still here, still reading, still feeling that pull not to look away. That pull is not random, it's not just imagination. It is the echo of heaven's heartbeat for you. And if you allow it, we will not only warn you but also guide you, guiding you to the very place where the blessing you've prayed for is waiting. The choice remains yours. But as you linger here, something is already shifting. Even now the air around your life is changing because 2 archangels are in motion. We do not move slowly, we move at the speed of divine thought. And each second you spend here strengthens the shield around you. We see the threads that unseen hands are pulling, some weaving protection and promise around you, others trying to unravel what has been built. That is why this message has pressed on your spirit again and again. The closer we draw to you, the more resistance tries to rise. Perhaps you've noticed it already, the heaviness in your chest, the sudden memory of old wounds, unexpected irritations that seem to come out of nowhere. That is not coincidence. It is a tactic, a distraction meant to pull you away before you hear the whole message. But if you stay, you can break the cycle that has tried to keep you standing still. Beloved, there is something you have prayed for, or perhaps stopped calling a prayer because the hope itself became too painful. We have seen it. We have carried it before God more than once. You thought heaven was silent about it, but in truth it was gathering weight, like a cloud filling with rain, waiting for the right ground to be ready to receive it. That readiness is what we are speaking to now. You cannot receive a gift meant for a prepared heart if your focus is scattered. That is why this moment matters so much. There is a delivery already in motion toward you, but it needs your agreement, your attention, your willingness to step through the door as it opens. So stay, keep listening. The minutes are passing, but so is the resistance. The closer you lean into this voice, the stronger the shield around you becomes. Not of paper or coin, but of favor, of doors that swing open where there used to be walls. And it is no coincidence that it's all reaching you in the very same moment when something else, something meant to distract you, tries to arrive at your doorstep. 2 packages, 1 hour, one stamped by heaven's hand, the other smuggled in by shadows. This is why there is such urgency in our words. We don't want you to sign for the wrong delivery. You wonder, how will I even know the difference? That is why we are speaking to you now. The one sent to trip you up will look so simple, so easy, almost too good to resist. It will feed the part of you that's tired of waiting, the part that wants relief right now. The one sent for you will not flatter your impatience, it will invite your courage. It will bring a peace that may still ask you to wait a little longer, but that peace will feel steady, like solid ground beneath your feet. The false thing will flatter your ego. The true thing will honor your soul. If in these 9 minutes you hold these words close, your spirit will know the difference without second-guessing. But if you rush ahead, if you let the moment slip as though there will be another just like it, the lines will blur. And what was meant to be a season of forward motion could be delayed months, even years. This is not a threat, it is clarity. Heaven warns not to frighten but to illuminate the path. Think back to the last time you felt a similar pull, a whisper inside you that something was speaking directly to you. Remember how you dismissed it as your imagination, only to find later that the moment had been real, that you had missed a warning. That memory is not here to shame you. It's here to remind you that your spirit already knows the voice of truth. We are speaking in that same familiar tone now. And this time you are invited to listen, not out of guilt but because you deserve a straight road free of needless detours. Child, understand this, there are conversations happening about you right now in rooms you've never entered. Some voices speak with affection, some with quiet jealousy. We have bent and scattered the words of those who plot against you, turning their schemes into harmless air. But there is one plan that still needs your attention. Not just our shield but your awareness. If you step into it blindly, it will pull you into agreements that chain you more than they bless you. That is why 2 of us stand with you, one to guard the other to guide. My companion watches the person behind that plan even as I speak to you. We do not speak in riddles for the sake of mystery, We give you the frame so that when the picture finally appears before your eyes, you will recognize it instantly. Recognition will be your way out. Without it, you might feel trapped, pressured, cornered. With it, you will walk away calm, confident, and free, and what was meant to bind you will lose all power. Moments like this change the direction of years. And if you have ever wondered whether you are worth this kind of attention, let this be your answer. The Creator does not send two of His messengers without purpose. You are worth the watch, the defense, the interruption in the usual order of things to keep your path clear. This is not because you've been flawless, it is because you are loved beyond condition. Time is narrowing. The seconds are not merely slipping past, they press in like a door inching shut. We are still speaking, still here, but we feel the pressure of what waits just beyond this hour. It is not meant to harm you unless you drift past this moment thinking there will be another exactly like it. The rare alignment of heaven and earth you feel right now will not be replicated in the same way again. You think you have seen enough storms, survived enough trials, learned enough lessons. Yet there is still a depth to God's protection you have never tasted. That is what is being offered now. Child, we see the road ahead of you. It branches like rivers, some streams glinting with light, others running into shadows that only pretend to be shelter. Without this warning you might choose the wrong stream, not from rebellion but because it looks safe, familiar. That is how traps work, they disguise themselves as comfort. But the false can never hold its shape for long. When it collapses, it pulls pieces of your heart down with it. That is why I am here to keep that from happening. And why my companion stands watch, ready to block the approach of the one carrying that false refuge. But you must remain awake when the moment comes. You must remember these words: peace never pressures, love never demands silence, and truth never hides in the half-light. Hold to that and you will not fall. You have waited longer than you thought you could. You have fought battles no one else has seen. You are closer to the doorway of your promise than you realize. But as every traveler knows, the last stretch before the hilltop often feels the steepest. That is why the shadows push harder now. They know what you are about to step into. So listen, stay steady, and remember the real gift always carries peace in its presence. The real path may ask for patience but it never changes your soul. And the real blessing never hides in the dark. This is the moment we fight for, the moment that preserves the years ahead. And even now as you hear these words, heaven bends close to remind you, you have never been forgotten. Watching over that meeting as if standing at the threshold with a drawn sword, ensuring that no shadow can step across without your awareness. I tell you this so you understand that heaven is not distant. It has always been closer than your own breath. Child, listen carefully. There will come a day soon when what has been hidden will show its face. Not through drama or some great revelation but in the subtle way that truth always reveals itself. The person connected to this plan will try to cloak their offer in the language of care, perhaps speaking of opportunity, of connection, of solving something you've been struggling with. Yet their words will taste slightly bitter to your spirit. That bitterness is the sign. Do not dismiss it as mood or tiredness. It is the whisper of discernment. And when that moment comes, you will not be alone. You will feel a stillness settle in your chest, like the quiet pause before dawn. That is our presence guiding you to remember these words. Heaven does not need to shout when the heart is attentive. Trust that quiet warning. Beloved, I see how weary you have been. You have watched seasons turn and wondered if your moment had passed. You have seen others run ahead and wondered if you were left behind. But the truth is this: the delay has been your protection. There are battles you were never meant to fight because God fought them for you in silence. What looked like slow progress was a fortress being built around your path. And now, as the gates of a new season begin to open, I must remind you, not every open gate is yours to walk through. Some gates are decoys built to lure the restless. Others are true doors to promise. The difference is not in how wide they swing or how beautiful they look, but in the weight of peace they carry. Peace is heaven's signature. Where it is absent, proceed no further. I also want you to remember the stories you've almost forgotten. The near accidents avoided, the unexpected phone calls that shifted your direction, the friendships that ended abruptly only for you to later realize it spared you pain. These were not random interruptions. They were signatures of the same care that is speaking to you now. You are not stepping into a new battle unprepared, you are stepping forward with a history of unseen victories. There is also something I must say about your heart. For too long you have carried a private ache, an unspoken hope that sometimes felt too fragile to name in prayer. You thought it had been ignored, but heaven has held it gently, waiting for the right hour to release what you could now receive without breaking. That hour draws near. It will come not as fireworks, but as a gentle, undeniable shift, like morning light spilling across a darkened room. When it happens, do not doubt it. It will be the answer wrapped in stillness. My beloved, this is not only about warning you away from danger, but about preparing you to step into restoration. There is a healing coming that will not only soothe old wounds, but will give you new strength to embrace what is ahead. The ache in your heart will meet the gift in your hands, and together they will tell you that the season of wandering has ended. But hear me. You must guard your focus in these coming days. The enemy cannot steal what is written for you, but it can distract you long enough to delay your arrival. Distraction often comes wearing the mask of urgency, emails that can wait, conversations that stir old wounds, invitations that feel flattering but drain your energy. Do not let them pull you off course. Your clarity is precious in this hour. I see again the two roads before you. The left still glitters, promising quick relief, but its light is hollow. The right remains simple, almost quiet, but its soil is rich with lasting fruit. Each step you take on it will strengthen the faith that brought you this far. Do not despise the quiet road. It is the very path that leads you into the fulfillment of long-held prayers. There are more eyes on you than you imagine. Some look for hope in your resilience, others look for proof that you will fail. You are not responsible for their motives, but you are responsible for the choice you make at the gate. Choose well, and the ripple will reach farther than you know. Beloved, you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned. The reason the battle felt so intense before this moment is because the blessing it was guarding is of great worth. Do not let the noise of the world convince you otherwise. The minutes may be narrowing, but the love guiding you is infinite. Let that love steady your hand, quiet your heart, and sharpen your discernment. When the conversation comes, when the offer is placed before you, remember peace does not rush, truth does not demand silence, and love does not manipulate. Hold fast to these markers, and you will walk forward unshaken. Child, as I look again at the roads ahead, I see light gathering on the quieter one. I see your name carried in the breath of heaven. I see doors unlocking at the sound of your obedience. And I see the one who tried to weave deception growing restless, because their net is already breaking. Stay steady. Hold these words. Trust what you have sensed but could not yet explain. The hour for confusion is ending, the hour for clarity has come. We will walk beside you until the moment you cross into what has been waiting for you all along. More than you know. The weight you feel is not a burden to crush you, but the evidence of a treasure you are being trusted to carry. Diamonds are formed under pressure, rivers carve valleys through unyielding stone. In the same way, the strain you feel now is shaping you for the season ahead. Beloved, I need you to pause for a heartbeat and realize this. The very resistance that tried to break you has instead revealed what cannot be broken. The storms that came against you were not random weather, they were targeted winds meant to uproot you. But you remain standing, and because you remain, heaven knows you are ready for more. You have wondered at times why the battles did not end sooner. The reason is that growth often happens in hidden places. Roots grow deeper in drought so the tree can stand strong in the coming rain. Much of what has been happening was preparing your roots, unseen but essential. And now the season shifts from rooting to rising. There will be moments in the coming days when you will feel a pull between what is familiar and what is faithful. The familiar will whisper comfort, promising you that you can avoid the risk of new ground. The faithful choice will call you forward, sometimes into territory that feels uncertain. Do not let comfort trick you into captivity. Growth rarely wears the garments of ease. Child, the invitation that approaches will be subtle. It will not come with obvious danger. In fact, it may even echo some of the desires you have quietly held in your heart. That is why I have been sent to stand guard, so that your healing, still tender in some places, is not used as a doorway for deception. You must remember not everything that speaks to your longing is sent to fulfill it. When you feel that tension between the longing to move and the caution to wait, choose peace as your guide. Peace is not the absence of challenge, it is the presence of alignment with heaven's timing. Where there is pressure to rush or to hide, step back. Where there is room for prayer, honesty, and light, you may step forward. I want to tell you something that heaven repeats often about you. You carry influence beyond what you can see. The way you speak hope shifts heavy atmospheres. The way you stand firm in storms inspires others to trust that they too can endure. This is why heaven invests so deeply in your protection. You are more than an individual story, you are a spark that can ignite courage in many. Even now as you read, I sense your heart softening under these words. That softness is not weakness. It is the fertile ground where new strength will grow. Hardened hearts cannot receive new direction. Yours, though bruised by past seasons, remains open, and that openness is your greatest gift. Beloved, I have watched you in nights when tears were your only prayer, and even then your quiet hope rose like incense. Not one tear was wasted. Each one watered the soil of a future you could not yet see. And I tell you, the seeds you thought were lost have not rotted, they have been waiting for the right rain. The rain is near. The days ahead will reveal two paths as surely as dawn follows night. One will glitter with promises that cater to your weariness, offering shortcuts that cost your integrity. The other may appear slower, less dramatic, but it will resonate with the quiet assurance you are learning to trust. Remember, the most stable foundations are often laid in silence. When you feel the weight of decision press upon you, do not be afraid to pause. Heaven is not offended by your need to seek clarity. Those who demand immediate answers often do so because they fear the light of truth. If an opportunity resists being brought before God in prayer, it is not the one meant for you. Child, place your hand over your heart again for a moment. That steady rhythm beneath your palm is the drumbeat of a story still unfolding. As long as it continues, heaven is not done writing. Every breath is proof that purpose remains. You have not missed your season. You have not been abandoned on the shore. What felt like delay was the ocean pulling back to gather strength. The tide is on the move now, and when it returns, it will lift you swiftly, carrying you further in a short span than you could have walked in long years. This is why we guard your focus so carefully, because distraction in this moment could make you stumble just as the wave arrives. I know you have grown tired of waiting. I know there are nights when silence felt like absence. But the silence was not empty. It was the pause between one movement and the next in a great symphony. The music of your life is about to rise again. Beloved, do not measure your worth by the pace of others. The path written for you has its own timing, and that timing redeems what seemed lost. It restores what was stolen, and reveals that what you thought was a setback was a safeguard. Even now angels stand watch at the turning of this chapter. We are not here merely as protectors, but as witnesses to your becoming. We speak so you will recognize the voice of heaven amid the noise, so that when the moment to choose comes, you will remember the counsel given in the stillness. Take these words with you beyond this moment. Let them be a lens for your choices. Opportunities that align with peace, truth, and the presence of God, welcome them. Those that demand secrecy, stir anxiety, or push you to act without prayer, turn away. The weight you feel is not punishment, it is preparation. The stirring in your chest is not fear, it is faith awakening. And the nearness you sense as you read is not imagination, it is the presence that has guarded you all along. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are stepping into alignment. The tide is turning, the doors are unlocking, and the light that once seemed distant is now at the edge of your path. Hold steady, beloved. Stay awake. Walk with courage. The story is still unfolding, and its next chapter carries the fulfillment of promises long whispered over your life. That is why heaven has stationed us here, two guardians shoulder to shoulder. One has already gone ahead of you, clearing the hidden snares that could have tripped your feet. The other stands right here, speaking these words so your heart stays steady, making sure you do not wander off the path that is finally opening before you. Now listen carefully. The wrong choice in the coming days will not destroy you, but it can delay you. It could set you wandering down a side road that feels endless. Heaven will still bring you back, but precious time that could have been spent walking in your purpose, will be lost. I do not tell you this to frighten you, but so you can walk with eyes open and a heart alert. The counterfeit will not appear ugly or obvious. It will arrive looking polished, impressive, almost as if it was hand-delivered by heaven itself. But look closer and you'll see the cracks. It will appeal to your impatience for quick results, not your deep desire for lasting peace. It will flatter your ego but won't nourish your soul. And somewhere deep within you will feel that faint stubborn unease that whispers something isn't right. Trust that whisper, it is heaven's warning. The blessing in contrast will not shout or rush you. It will stand in the light and wait. It may not look as grand as you imagined, but it will carry the quiet weight of God's presence, and the moment you encounter it, your spirit will rest. That is the moment we have been guarding for you, the meeting prepared before you even knew to ask. Child, there are prayers you prayed years ago that you thought were long forgotten. Heaven never forgot them. They have been like seeds resting in the soil, waiting for the right season. That season is now. The ground has shifted. The rain has fallen. The sprouting will be sudden and startling, opportunities and connections rising up that you could never have arranged on your own. That is not coincidence, that is orchestration by the one who called you by name before the foundations of the world. Remember this too. You are not defined by the battles you've endured, but by the victories that followed. Many of your victories were silent, unseen by crowds, yet they were counted in heaven. Every time you chose kindness instead of revenge, faith instead of fear, prayer instead of giving up, heaven recorded it. Those quiet choices are part of the reason we defend you so fiercely now. They speak on your behalf even when you cannot. The enemy presses hard against you precisely because you are closer to your breakthrough than ever before. He does not waste his efforts on those who pose no threat. But your light disrupts what he tries to build. Your prayers dismantle schemes you don't even see. Your mere presence shifts the atmosphere in rooms you walk into. That is why you have been opposed. Beloved, if I could lift your face with my hands right now, I would tell you lift your head. Breathe slowly and deeply. Know that you are safe, not because there is no danger, but because the God who commands angels has assigned them to you. We are here because you are precious, and precious things are always guarded. When the next hours unfold, remember this conversation. Remember that heaven not only warned you but also prepared and equipped you. You will not be caught off guard. You will not be led where grace cannot reach you. You will walk forward, and the light will go with you. One day when you look back, you will see that this was not merely a warning, it was the beginning of the shift you've prayed for all along. Do you know what I see in you now? I see someone who has walked with a quiet, enduring strength. Even in seasons where you felt invisible, when the weight in your chest made it hard to move, you still took the next step, sometimes only an inch at a time. Heaven noticed every single inch. Every time you kept going when quitting looked easier, you marked yourself as someone who can be trusted with more. That is why we are here, not just to warn you, but to walk you into the next chapter you prayed for in the dark. The hours ahead hold two possibilities: one path looks sweet yet leads to sorrow, the other appears quiet yet leads to blessing. Both approach at the same time. This is no vague warning but a precise moment drawing near. That is why the Father sent not one but two archangels. One moves ahead, breaking apart what was set against you. I remain beside you, keeping your heart steady so you can choose rightly when the moment arrives. You will recognize the false path by its urgency. It will feel rushed, as if it cannot wait for you to think or pray. Deep within you'll feel that subtle pressure, a tightening that signals something is off. Do not dismiss it, pause, breathe, call on the name of God in that moment, and truth will come into focus. You will see what was hidden at first glance, and walk away without regret. The true path will not bring that inner strain. It will feel like a door you can walk through without forcing it open. Even if it challenges you, it will bring a stillness to your spirit. That is heaven's signature. Peace is the signpost. It may not look impressive. It may not arrive with a trumpet blast. But it will settle over your soul with a quiet weight that says this is safe. When it comes, step into it boldly. That is where the long-prayed-for answers dwell. That is where restoration is waiting. Child, understand this. We have been fighting for this moment longer than you know. There were times when the enemy's hand reached closer than you realized, yet we stood in the gap, blocking words meant to wound you, delaying meetings that would have entangled you, severing connections you thought were lost opportunities but were actually hidden traps. You saw rejection, we saw protection. And soon you will see it too. When the light shines on the road ahead, you will understand why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain dreams were paused. You have not been forgotten. You have been guarded. And now the path we have fought to keep clear is about to open before you. So stand ready, beloved. Keep your heart soft but your discernment sharp. Remember what you have heard in these words. The one who called you is faithful. The tide that pulled back is already gathering. And when it returns, it will carry you further than years of striving ever could. Walk forward with courage. You are not walking alone. Child, hear me now. Every step you have taken through valleys of doubt and waiting has not been wasted. The tears you thought were falling into empty ground were actually watering the soil of your future. Some things you cried over losing were never losses at all, they were shields in disguise. Heaven removed them because they could have broken your spirit if they stayed. We never came to strip you of what is precious, we came to guard the borders of your life, so that what enters is worthy of the story you are still living. Timing matters more than you realize. A door opened too early can feel like a blessing but bring confusion. A gift received out of season can weigh you down instead of lifting you up. Right now the alignment you've been waiting for is finally in place, like stones set carefully in a path. That is why the shadows also stir at this very moment, hoping to catch you just as you reach the gate. But you will not be caught off guard, not if you stay awake, not if you keep these words alive in your heart. I want you to remember a moment from your past, a time when you felt that quiet nudge inside, that gentle warning to pause or to move, and you listened. Later you understood how crucial that choice was. That same inner knowing is awake in you again, sharper than before. We are speaking into it now, strengthening it, so that when the hour comes, you will not be confused or delayed. Beloved, the reward of your obedience will not be small. The right choice will not only open a door for you, it will open windows for others. Your courage will ripple out, touching family, friends, even strangers who do not yet know that their own answers are tied to your yes. This is not about comfort alone, it is about legacy and impact. The Father's hand is already on you. His angels have circled your steps. Even now as you read these words, the grip of the false path is loosening. The mask of imitation is slipping. The light is breaking through, and you are closer than you think to that crossing where the right and the wrong path separate. Hold on to this one truth. Peace is your compass. If a door asks you to give up your peace in order to enter, it is not your door. Whatever truly comes from God will honor your dignity, strengthen your soul, and draw you closer to His presence. Let that be your filter. Child, you have stayed. You could have turned away, but you chose to stay and listen. That choice has already aligned you with grace. Do you sense that strange stillness beneath the urgency? That is not contradiction, it is the balance of heaven. The urgency is because the window is narrow. The stillness is because God knows you will step through it in time. We see you not as the world sees you, fragmented, tired, second-guessing, but as you truly are, whole, radiant, carrying a light that has outlasted storms which would have crushed others. That is why the shadow still moves against you. It does not attack the weak, it tries to unsettle the strong. The other archangel with me, usually stationed at the front lines, has fixed his gaze on the one approaching you in disguise. I can see them rehearsing their smile, practicing their words, imagining the moment they will reach for you. They think they will surprise you, but they do not know you are already fortified inside. The Spirit has been drawing invisible lines of fire around you. When they stand before you, they will feel that unseen boundary. They will hesitate. Because light, even without words, always unsettles the shadow. Perhaps you wonder why all this protection, why heaven sends two to guard you. It is because the chapter ahead is a chapter of building and establishing. What was once hidden will be made visible, the promises you carried like secret seeds will grow where all can see. That visibility will attract both allies and adversaries. Our task is to make sure the wrong ones cannot plant themselves near you when the season of your rising comes. Here is how you will recognize the false thing. It will play to your impatience, speak sweet words to the wound still healing, offer you comfort that costs you your clarity. It will seem to give, but in time it will take far more. You will sense it in the pause between their words, in the way they speak of the future yet avoid the name of God. Keep this knowing close. The counterfeit will not arrive announcing danger, it will arrive disguised as opportunity. The true blessing will not press or rush you. It will meet you like a calm sunrise. When you sit in its presence, your soul will relax, as if it has finally come home. That is the sign to say yes. And when you say yes to what is true, something remarkable will happen. A door long closed, one you had nearly stopped praying about, will swing open as if on its own. You will realize it had been quietly prepared for you, obstacles removed, locks turned, hinges freed, long before you arrived. Through that doorway will come not just one answered prayer, but a weaving together of many, people you need, resources you lacked, timing you could not have arranged. Heaven has been setting the stage while you stayed faithful. Do not let doubt's voice shake you. Doubt always shouts the loudest when destiny is about to appear. Remember, the very fact that you have stayed and listened this far proves you are ready to carry what is coming. When the hour strikes, you will recognize the choice before you. You will walk through the right door without regret. And in that moment, you will know heaven truly was with you all along. You have been warned. You have been loved. You have been chosen. And heaven would not rest until you heard your name called into light. Amen.